Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1961 Olivetti Lettera 31 vintage portable typewriter made in Italy. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top are the margins. This is your left margin. I'm going to set this one on 0 and this right one around 75. It's about the length of the page. And this is the paper bale that sits on top. It's got 2 adjustable rollers. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning. It skips 1, 2, or 3 spaces. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, you just flip that switch forward. It skips 2. 1 more, it skips 3. That works good. We're going to keep that on single and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence on the next line. Beautiful typing machine. Basically the same as the Olivetti Lettera 32 with a different shell, and it doesn't have a touch control or a tab function. So it's like it's a Lettera 32 Lite, I would call it. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side here. You flip it forward and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easy. Or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. Shift on each side and shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. This blank button on the top left is the margin release. When you get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that stops you from printing. And if you hit that button there, it'll allow you to go all the way to the end. That works good. Color selector is on the right side here. If you flip it all the way down, it prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. As you can see, the vibrator goes up higher when you have it on that. When you have it on the blue, which is the top, it just prints the top portion of the ribbon. When you have it in the middle, it doesn't print any ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. We're gonna leave that on the top. Fun fact is, since this has a solid black ribbon, you can double use that just by using it all the top and then go down and use the bottom. Backspace on the right side of the keyboard works great. And that's it on the keyboard, I believe. We could pop the hood open. From the back, it has these 2 little slots that slide into these holes here, and hooks on the back. All the brand new ribbons loaded on the left, so it's pulling to the right. And if you want to switch that direction behind either spool, you just move it into the opposite direction and it'll pull to the next the other side. That works good. And it has these 2 special thumb screws on top that help it hold down. That's kind of unique to this specific machine. You need these. You might be able to use universal spools on this as long as you have those thumbs, but it's iffy to see if it works because this top might, when you put the top on, it might drag on that or something. I don't know. I haven't tested it, but I just got the original spools on it on this one. And this just hooks in from the front and then pushes straight down. Carriage release on each side. Actually, this has the 1 carriage release on the right, I believe. And it's got the lock right here. So if you push that down and you move the carriage to the middle, it'll lock the carriage. So when you have it in the case, it doesn't bang around in there, causing damage. And on this side, if you move the line selector all the way back to 0, it'll disable the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. When you move it to the 1, you get the clicks. Each one of those clicks is a half a space. And this line space return folds back, so it needs to be folded back when you have it in the case. You gotta be careful with that because this thing is made out of cast aluminum and it will break. So take care of that lever. Oh, and this actually has a broken, because this is a hard plastic shell, and it has a broken mount here, but it still holds really well. So selling at a little bit of a discount because of that, but it still doesn't affect anything at all. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.